I'ma soon forget. So far between the lines, I'ma write a new set, a new beginning. Reflecting on the times that were that hard. I've fallen down many times, but I got mad hard.
Alright, what's good, YouTube? Mexican Lee's Therapy Garage. It's your boy Mexican Lee, back with a new video. We're gonna do something a little different. I'm gonna go ahead and show y'all what we're gonna do with this V6, the 4.3 that I had in my 88 box Chevy. Ended up giving it to my son for his 82 Buick Regal, the one that's sitting out here, right there. So my younger son's gonna go ahead and get that car from him, and we're gonna go ahead and try to see if we can save this motor. So let me flip this screen around real quick and show you what we got going on. We already went ahead and took the heads off. So this was the cylinder that, it was these two cylinders that when I did a compression test on it, when it overheated, I was getting 60 pounds in these two, and then 90 in the other four. So coolant or something had to have gotten in this cylinder. I hope it didn't wash out the rings. That's what I'm worried about. I don't know how to take out the pistons and mess with the crank bearings and look at the rings. I don't know how to do that. So I'm hoping that this is savable. What I'm gonna do is clean this up the best I can for now. And I'm gonna put some mystery oil in here in these cylinders, spray a little bit in there, and let it set for a while until we get these heads back. And then we'll come back and clean everything out, oil the cylinders up really good. They don't really have like no rusting in them, a little bit of pitting, but I think that'll clean up. That's just from it sitting. See, it's just like dust, like surface rust. And I know that's not good for cylinders, but you can still see some cross hatching in there from when I had it rebuilt. These pistons are 40 over. I'm pretty sure the cam is still good. The lifter should be good. It just got hot on my son and he parked the car after that. So we're gonna go ahead and try to save this V6, man. I had when I had it rebuilt, I want to say I put $1,500 into it to get it rebuilt as a long block. And then from there I just added all kinds of parts to it, had it running great in my Caprice, and then turned it over to my son, and he had a small leak in his radiator. Wasn't checking his coolant, wasn't doing his at least weekly or bi-weekly maintenance checks on the car like I kept telling him. And finally one day he said it started running, it was missing, and he didn't pay attention to it. Got home from where he was at, fired it up the next day. It ran okay for the first few minutes, and then as it got warm, she wanted to start missing again. So I told him to just park the car. We ended up getting him another car, and well, he did. He bought his own car, and now this car has sit since then. So for a couple years, it's been here in the shop with a plastic bag covering it. But as you can see, it's so humid out here and hot. I don't know if you can see on my arms, but I'm sweating already, dripping sweat just from standing here. But I'm gonna go ahead and put a little bit of mystery oil in these cylinders. Let that set for a few days, then we'll come back and clean them up a little bit, wipe them down, get this water pump off, go get a new one. Start taping things up, cleaning things up, covering the inside of the block, and then I'm gonna have my son start wire wheeling this outside of the block so we can get her cleaned up and repainted. So that's what we're gonna start doing here on this motor. Once we get the heads back, I'm dropping the heads off hopefully tomorrow morning before I go into work. Get those dropped off at the machine shop. And I got them out here. Just kind of hit them with a little bit of brake clean just to get some of the oil off of them. But You can see where the had the little tab on it from when I had it rebuilt. Those are the little tabs that they put on them to see if they're it shows proof that the motor was overheated. And as you can see, that one was melted off, came off all the way. This one's still there. It didn't burn the blister all the way open, but almost. Oh yeah, she did. She pretty much melted it. So if your motor's ever got that, that's how the machine shop knows that that motor's been overheated. They got little lead like pellets inside these washers, and once they get to a certain temperature, they melt. That's how they know that that motor's been overheated. So we're gonna let these set just for a couple more minutes. Then we'll throw them in the back of my truck and drop them off at the machine shop. So again, that's that cylinder right there that kind of washed out and got clean from, I guess, the coolant. I didn't see no coolant in it. Oh yeah, it did have a little bit of coolant in it, but there wasn't no coolant in my oil. That's what I didn't understand. The oil is still not 100% clear. It's kind of not black, but used, but there's no milkiness to the oil. So I'm not sure what happened with this motor. That's why I'm trying to, you know, figure on saving it, hoping we can save it. But this is a Regal right here, so hopefully we can bring this thing back to life, get it back on the road. My youngest son can have him a little G body, something to drive around in, get him back and forth, back, you know, back to work, and you know, other places he needs to go now that he's done with high school. But we got to get this thing cleaned up. All this used to be nice and clean and painted, and my son said, man, he just let the shit go. I had rebuilt the whole front end on it, all new tie rods, all that shit, just like I do my cars. Brand new, all new suspension, springs, everything. The upper control arm shafts, the bushings, the lower control arms, the bushings, all that shit was brand new. I had rebuilt all that shit. But when things are just given to you, you don't care about stuff, man. You don't care about keeping it clean, keeping it maintained. You just get in and go. That little motor was so clean, man. All my exhaust manifolds, I had them ceramic coated. The little factory deals, man, they were so clean. That motor was real super clean. Ran excellent. But it ain't a bad car. It really ain't. If I didn't have the money, I'd put this thing back together myself. But you can only teach them so much, man. But anyways, we'll go ahead and get these heads dropped off at the shop and let y'all see what we got going from there. I gotta hurry and pull this thing back in the shop. I went to O'Reilly's earlier the other night when I got off work, came out here and readjusted my back brakes, and I had them too tight. So when I took off to O'Reilly's today, that back end was smoking, boy. Them brakes were super tight. So I had to jack the car up at O'Reilly's, back them off a little bit, bring the car home. So now that she's cooled off, she'll go back in the shop later in the week. I'll go ahead and readjust them, get them situated, and then this thing will be ready to hit the road again. So that was my fault. I just wanted them a little bit tighter. I wanted them to grab a little bit quicker, and I did it too much. I was in a hurry, I was tired, just got off work, it was hot. So that's why that happened. Turn that AC off. Turn that radio off. So anyways, y'all, we'll get the we'll get the this next video going, and the next footage that we're gonna have going for this motor, and I'll give y'all an update. Thanks. All right, YouTube, we're back. Just real quick update. Got the heads dropped off at the machine shop. The guy checked them out, and he did tell me that from the looks of the gasket, that I believe somewhere on this side is where he thinks either this side or this side. He thinks that I want to say it was this side right here. He showed me on the bottom of the head that he was saying that it could have sprung a leak, and that's what caused the issue with the once it overheated, it may not have had enough coolant in the block to go through and get into my oil, so that could be a good thing. He thinks that the engine is savable, so what I'm going to do now is get some Mr. Oil that I have in my cabinet. I'm going to go ahead and tilt the engine one way, get the oil out of the oil pan, and at the same time soak these cylinders, whatever way is going to set the engine block to the side. We're going to soak some Mr. Oil in these cylinders. I'm going to go ahead and clean the pistons, the tops of the pistons, like this one. That one got cleaned from whatever coolant got in there, and steam cleaned pretty much, steam cleaned the top of the piston off. So that's how that happened. But we're going to go ahead and get this water pump off, get the crank pulley off. I want to, here on the block, there's some identification numbers on here. I want to clean up and get those numbers off. That way I can find the gasket kit for this motor, as well as take off the tins. I want to get this thing cleaned up. I want to get it taped up. My son's going to come out, wire wheel it all the way around, clean it up really good. We'll tape off the cylinders once everything's cleaned up. I want to drain the oil out of it and get the bolts. We took all the bolts off the heads. I want to clean all those up really, really good. I want to get this block ready. The machine shop that I dropped the heads off, he said probably in a couple of days they'll be done. They were going to start working on them today, as a matter of fact, and I just dropped them off this morning. So I was like, wow, that's quick. That was fast. So I was expecting them to maybe get them by the weekend or by next week, being that it's a holiday weekend. So that's going to be the project that we're going to try to hurry up and get done for this block. I'm going to try to at least get everything cleaned up and have the heads here by the weekend. That way we can go ahead and paint the block and the heads and get those attached, get them put on the block, torqued down, cleaned up, and then paint everything, and then start assembling the motor. I will be ordering the torque converter kit for this transmission. I thought it was a 200 R4, but it looks to be a 700 R4. I couldn't remember. So I'm gonna get the numbers off the side here, the identification numbers off of the transmission as well. That way I can order the correct kit for it. So we'll get this thing cleaned up. I have my son come out with a wire wheel. Once it's all cleaned up and degreased, have him get this thing cleaned up really nice. That way we can repaint it. And then I'm gonna go ahead and start working on this as well. I got power window motors, brand new power window motors, because my driver's door stopped working the other day when I took it out for a test drive yesterday. My back brakes, the shoes were too tight. I adjusted them way too tight, and they were rubbing on the drums, overheated the drums, turned them black, burnt the paint that was on them. It was nice bright red. So we're gonna sandblast those, take them off, sandblast them, repaint them red, and then put everything back together in the car, adjust everything, and then put the door window motors in. I'll do a separate video for that. So I just wanted to give you a quick update on the SS as well. So that's pretty much it. It's just more turning wrenches than anything. So again, I'm just gonna get the tins off, get this oil out the motor, and start kind of putting parts away here and there, and get this block cleaned up really, really nice and get it ready for paint. So if everybody can, hit that like button, comment, subscribe, share the video if you like it, and also hit that notification bell. I'm gonna go ahead and start trying to drop more and more videos. I don't know how long they'll be. It may just be short, updates here and there, just to kind of give you guys updates on what we're doing. I have some footage in there as far as like taking stuff apart, but I mean, this is pretty self-explanatory. We're going to take the motor mounts off, get the oil pan off, get the pulleys off, the water pump, and really that's it. That's all that we'll be doing. So I don't think, maybe we'll do a little bit of footage on it, but for the most part, that's about it. We'll just get y'all updated on the next video and show you where we're at and what we've gotten completed, done, and hopefully we can get this motor married to the transmission soon. But I have to order that kit for that, so I know that's going to take at least a week. I think that comes from New York. I had ordered one for this car. This car's got a 200 R4, this 700 R4 on that. So I think it was the same kit. I can't remember. It might be a different pressure switch that goes in the 700 R4s, but we'll see. We'll keep y'all updated. All right. So again, like, comment, subscribe, man. Share the videos, and hit that notification bell. It's your boy Mexican Lee. Peace.
It's time I picked up all the pieces. It's so frustrating. Let me out of this cage. I'm not listening no more. 'Cause you're the one that's wrong, and you're gonna regret this life. All your words I'ma soon forget. So far between the lines, I'ma write a new set, a new beginning. Reflecting on the times that were that hard. I've fallen down many times, but I got mad hard.